Hello and welcome to our next Soul Sister Sync video. I'm Arti Kakad and this is Shaima Jundi.
Hello.
And today we're going to talk to you about unconditional love.
Yes. So what do we mean by unconditional love? So love is love. We don't need to explain love to you. The thing about unconditional love is when you really get behind your mind, when you get behind your ego, which we've probably spoken about in videos before. So what that means is you get behind all of the kind of clutter and all of the daily thoughts that keep whizzing through your mind, which can actually sometimes be a barrier to really connecting with someone or really loving someone unconditionally. So, for example, in our last video, we talked about meditation, we talked about mindfulness. These are great techniques because what they do is they really quieten your mind clutter and get you behind that into your heart space, like to your true soul. And your true soul is love. There's nothing else there. Your true soul came from love. It is literally a representation of love. So, when you decide to quieten your mind and you quieten all the conditions that you might have attached to loving someone, you'll find you literally just start loving them because they are. Your soul will start loving their soul. And it's not, okay, I love them because they did the shopping for me, or, I love them because they're so pretty. It's literally just, I love you as you, and I don't need anything from you. Almost like a parent would love a child.
Yeah, a parent loving a child is probably the closest you can see that unconditional love happening.
Yeah.
Now, they say that when people, or I heard a quote recently from a mentor who heard it from someone else, so who knows where this quote originally came from, but it was when people seem to act up, that's when they need the love the most. So when someone's sort of acting angry, having a tantrum, or doing something that actually isn't very loving at all, that's probably when they're hurting the most and when they need the love the most.
Yeah.
So it's really important. We see this with, we give this love to children when they're having a tantrum, but it works equally with adults as well. It's when, when they seem like they deserve it the least, but actually they need it the most. And like Shaima said, if we are in a place of really being connected with ourselves, being relaxed and in tune with our heart through the meditation, it's a lot easier to give that love out to others.
Yeah.
Another really important thing when giving unconditional love is to love yourself.
Yeah.
And it all starts there actually, because if you can accept that there are parts of you that are amazing, there are parts of you that still need work, there are parts of you that aren't great, you can then accept that about everyone else as well, with complete love for yourself and with complete love for other people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a really good point. If you do practice self-love techniques, and we've spoken about self-love techniques before, be wary of making them conditional. Don't say to yourself, yeah, like I mentioned, oh, I love myself because I work really hard. Try and get to the point where you just love yourself because you exist. Louise Hay has a technique, I might have mentioned it before. I think it's 21 Days to Heal Your Life. It's one of her books where she talks about just looking in the mirror, looking into your eyes, and just saying, I love you, and then say your name. And if you can get into the habit of doing that every day, you'll really start finding that you really start building up the self-love. And like Arti says, that then it's really much easier to love other people unconditionally.
Yeah.
And like you say, it's not just about, oh, I'll love them because they're good, I won't love them because they're bad. I mean, even the most horrific people in the world, horrific by, society standards or whatever standards, they need love and they deserve love. And actually, a lot of the time, it's because of a lack of love that people do things that we deem as bad.
Yeah, exactly. And that brings us on then to forgiveness, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So forgiving someone for doing something wrong to you is really important, not just for them, but for yourself as well. And carrying around that burden of anger.
Yeah.
Anger is a very fiery emotion, and when you're not using it for something, anger is a really useful emotion for setting boundaries and that kind of thing. But when it's just kind of festering around inside you for days, months, years, it can really sort of eat into your body, eat into your emotions, eat into your energy. And so forgiving someone by unconditionally loving them, by accepting that people are flawed, people are acting out of a place of fear a lot of the time, you can then start to let that go. And we've talked in a previous video about Hopono Ono as a method of forgiveness. But it's really, really powerful, so I'm going to mention it again. And the idea about Hopono Ono is that the outside is a reflection of some inner turmoil that's going on inside you. So it originated in Hawaii, and the thinking is that if someone did something to you, it's because there was something in yourself that is unresolved that allowed that. So just looking into yourself and letting that other person be an outer manifestation of that. You can picture them in your mind, and you can say, I'm sorry, and just keep apologizing for whatever it is. You don't even need to know what it is, but whatever it is that was inside you that caused that. And then once you've said, I'm sorry, you can say, please forgive me. And you can keep saying that over and over again. And then thank you, again, thanking them and giving them gratitude for that forgiveness. And then I love you. And that's moving then from, something wrong has happened to unconditional love step by step. It's a really powerful technique. If there is someone you've got an issue with in your life, then I suggest doing it once a day for 30 days and seeing what happens, or until you start seeing the changes you want to happen. And ultimately, forgiveness isn't really about the other person. It's about letting it go in yourself and making sure you're not carrying around the emotions that are going to weigh you down in your day-to-day life.
Yeah, that's really important, because I know a lot of people will say, well, I never got an apology, why should I forgive them? Or, I'm still angry at them and I feel like forgiving them kind of lets them off the hook. Well, not really. You'll still have your standards, and actually we'll talk about this in a second. You'll still have your standards for how you will or won't be treated. So it doesn't mean like, okay, I've got to accept behavior going forward. If you don't want to accept it, that's fine. But it's more the point that you don't want to carry around a resentment or a resistance, because if you're going to keep resisting it, it's going to keep showing up in your life somewhere or the other. So accepting it, forgiving it, releasing it, whatever way works for you. The Hopono method is wonderful. That releases you more really than it releases them. So really, like you say, it's more about you forgiving, and it will benefit you for sure.
Yeah. Now, it is important when we're talking about unconditional love. A lot of people will say, oh, I don't want to do that because then I'll be a walkover or a pushover. And it is important to take note that loving people unconditionally doesn't mean you let them treat you like dirt, basically. I'm trying to think of a polite way to say that quickly, but that didn't work. So unconditional love means you still put up those boundaries, you still put up those barriers, but from a different place now. Those boundaries and those barriers are there to teach people what is okay and what isn't okay. You don't let people into your life just to do what they want, just to do as they please. And if someone has treated you badly, it's okay to sort of shift into a space where they're not in your life anymore. So unconditional love doesn't mean you've got to be best friends with everybody in the world. You can put those barriers up, but again, from that place of when you're ready to forgive them, let them go, let them lead their own life, understand that maybe your paths aren't meant to cross, or they've got things to work through, but that you do still send them good wishes, you still send them strength on their journey, even through the ether, and just let them get on with their lives. And come back to you if and when they're ready to honour your barriers.
Yeah, for sure. It's really a beautiful thing if you can say to someone, whether you say it to them actually or energetically, for whatever reason you can't be in my life right now because this behavior does not sit with my boundaries, but no resentment, no ill will. Maybe meditate for them every day if there's someone close to you and you feel that's right, meditate for them. Send them prayers, send them love, but you won't have that attachment. It's not like a needy love, like, oh my gosh, I love you and I need you in my life. It's more like, I love you and I'm just literally wishing the best for you, whether that's with me or whether it's not. There are some great videos on YouTube to do this. There's one in particular, we'll put it in the comments, a heart meditation to send love from one person to another. Super powerful. It always gets me crying every time I do it, and lots more. So send them gratitude, send them love, and release all expectations of any kind of attachment or, any kind of thinking like, oh, if I love them, hopefully they will change. Maybe they will, maybe they won't, but, you can send them love regardless. There's one more quote I wanted to mention. Now, I'm not going to get this exactly right, so again, I'll put it in the comments. But it's something like, my love for you is unconditional, but your presence in my life is not. So if for any reason you do something that means you can't be in my life, then I will just unconditionally love the memory of you. And I found that really powerful, because you can still have amazing memories with a particular person. You can still feel happy without feeling that kind of lack. And that again will help you boost the gratitude you feel for them and the love that you feel for them moving forward.
Like
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so I think we'll finish there just with a small meditation that on unconditional love, and then we'll end the video there.
Sure.
So I just want you to think about someone you want to send love to. Now, it could be yourself today if you feel like you need some self-love. It could be someone in your life. It could be someone who has been in your life before but is no longer in your life. It could be the whole world. You can use your imagination here. And just just have a few seconds to think about who you want to send love to just now. And when you're ready, I just want you to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And just take 3 deep breaths to ground yourself. Now, whatever you've been doing today, you've taken some time out to just go within and find that heart space inside you where you store all the love you give out to the world, that you give out to yourself. And I just want you to focus your energy on that heart space right now. And start to feel that heart space expand, grow. I just want you to tap into what colour that energy is inside you. And make that colour brighter. And notice that energy expand and contract with your breath as you breathe in and out. And then you can see in front of you whoever you decided to give that love to today, to share that love with. Whether it's an image of yourself or someone else, or even a thing that represents what you want to send love to today. And just feel that energy expanding now, expanding from your heart, getting bigger and bigger until your whole body is filled with that energy. And see it keep expanding, getting bigger and bigger until it's covering the other person too. And you can see that your heart and their heart are connected together. And you can give that person a message, whether it's spoken out loud or just with your energy. But I see you. And I love you, all of you. The great, the good, the bad and the ugly, I love it all. It all makes you who you are. And you can hear the person say it back to you too. And then you can start to feel this energy come back into your body. Come back right into the centre of your heart space, where it condenses and turns into a jewel, shining in the middle of your heart, keeping this feeling with you. And then you can just take a deep breath. And as you exhale, slowly open your eyes.
Wow,
Okay.
that was super powerful.
I feel it too.
Yeah, I'm just like, oh, amazing.
So, should we leave it there?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you can contact us if you've got any questions,
Yep.
if you want any one-to-one coaching, and we both put on workshops and events as well. So keep an eye out on our Facebook pages, websites, etc. For any workshops we have that you'd like to join.
Sure.
Thank you for listening.
Thank you. We'll see you next time.
Yeah, see you next time.
Bye.